And it's a Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money because I just got paid. So, hello, 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 folks. I thought I'd stream and I'd give you a little bit more about myself and talk about myself. So, and then I'll share some of the newer products and things that are coming out. That's exciting. All right, so here's the gist because I got asked today about why I've left my environmental side or my herbalist side, which I never did, by the way. So, back in the day, so I'll give you a brief history. I went to college. I majored in natural resources, environmental studies. I've led children's camps. I've hiked and been all over the world, and have always fought for the environment, love the environment, want to protect our resources, especially for our children. So I would like to do all of that. And of course, and hopefully TikTok you can hear me because I'm on speaker for the uh, um, for the great laptop. But again, unfortunately for you guys, I couldn't get you on the same thing. So I hope that you can hear me and that it's all okay, and I'll speak up. Anyways, so to go back to it all, I was teaching and I've taught for mega years. And at each step of the way, you reach your dream job. So, for example, you reach your dream job of thinking, hey, I just became the executive director of camps. That's what I've always wanted to do. And then you figure out maybe, being in the courtroom one too many times or building boathouses or, as I was describing the other day, being on a golf course with the men trying to get a $30,000 check is not always cool, right? So, um, but anyways, so I left that job and then I came back to teaching. I taught high school, taught college by night, and thought, hey, my dream job is to teach college. And by God, I loved it, man. I taught pre nursing, I taught health students. I think I'm great at being a teacher. I think I'm very good at my subject and what I do and my subject matter. And so I did that for several years and loved it. Absolutely loved it. But one of my goals, because many of you don't know this, is throughout my life, my family, most of my biological family is deceased. They're gone. In the last 5 years alone, I buried three sisters. That was pretty rough. My identical twin, my identical twin, I buried in 2011. I am a twinless twin. Okay, so she was buried in 2011. So my goal has always been to help women to believe in themselves and be successful. That's one of my big goals that I love to do. So yes, and so hello, Kim. Nice to see you. But yes, I mean, it's been a little bit of quite the journey. It's had its bumps, it's had its ups and downs. But somewhere along the way, when I was teaching and loving what I do, a friend of mine introduced me to network marketing, and she introduced me to an eye cream and asked me if I'd run a post for her, and I laughed. I said, ha, ha, I don't use eye cream. And she said, well, can't you just help a friend out? And I was like, all right, I'll throw it up and help a friend out. So I put it up on my site, of course, and helped her out. And in the meantime, a bunch of people started purchasing. And then she said, hey, would you like to take this over? And I looked at it and I was like, huh. Oh, Instagram had an error starting. Oh, darn, they're not live tonight. Okay. Anyway, so it'll be Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Hello, TikTok. All right. So, interestingly enough, what happened was that I ended up going into the business and thinking, oh, I'll just, I can make some money. I'm pretty good at this and I've done it before. It's not my first rodeo. And, I've done doTERRA oils and all kinds of stuff and thinking, hey, I'll just do it and make some extra bucks. And so I really started just to make some extra bucks. And then I fell in love. Oh, I fell in love with it. And let me tell you why I fell in love with it. It's not just about products and making money. It's about helping women be successful. It's about helping other people. And then let me explain to you that we have a whole line called Nutricentials, which is our botanical line. So a lot of these have all kinds of different mushrooms and flowers and herbs. And in fact, I got a funny story for you. So I was talking to a friend of mine and I was sharing with her about our lovely herbal. We have the under eye herbal makeup and we have the To Be Clean and we have all kinds of a recovery serum for the face. We have an incredible line, facial cleansers, moisturizers, you name it, an incredible line called Nutricentials, which is our botanicals, right? And so she says, she emails me. Now, this is a woman in network marketing. She emails me, and I'm not going to name her because I don't want to embarrass her. And she says, I don't understand how you can do that false advertising. And I'm like, what are you talking about, girl? And she said, here you have cat whiskers in and it probably was the eye cream, but I can't remember which one it was in. But she said, you have cat whiskers in this. And I busted out laughing. And I was like, hun, we say hun in the South here. Hun, cat whiskers happens to be a flower. It's a botanical. It is not. It is not real cat whiskers. That was hilarious because she thought that we actually were advertising that we use cat whiskers in one of our creams. And so when you read some of that, and especially like cat whiskers, that would be a flower that we use. The other reason why I absolutely love this company is because we have a line called Epoch. Epoch was started by Dr. Paul Cox. If you don't know him, you should. Dr. Paul Cox is an ethnobotanist, one of the greatest scientists. I have followed him for years. I studied botany in the beginning. This man would go live with the indigenous people, and then he would find all the different herbs that they used and different things in the rainforest. And not only would he collect those and bring those back, and the only company that he could get to work with him, and this was because he wanted the company to put some money back into schools for the indigenous children and to help save the rainforest. And of course, that was Nu Skin. What a great company. All right. So, and to date, I must say that we have helped put in, because it sounds small, but 25 cents per product of our different products that are Epoch go back into the Foundation for Good. Good for You Foundation, I believe it's called. I should know better than that. But anyways, it's late on a Saturday night. But anyways, so that Good for You Foundation has put 300,000 schools, medical clinics, and places where people didn't have that. We have saved over, millions of acres of rainforest. And now we're in the process of saving some coral reefs. I think it's out of Malawi, actually. But that we have done those things. And then the Force for Good, it's called the Force for Good. The Force for Good Foundation has also done things like we provide free surgery for children born with cleft lips who can't afford it to fix their mouths. Huge. And there's so much that we have done in all kinds of different places. And so those are part of my morals. I believe in helping the world. I believe, oh, by the way, we feed. We have provided 650 million meals. We have provided so much food for our Nourish the Children program. I'm an ambassador. I believe in feeding hungry children. I believe in providing an education for everybody, and it should be darn well free, by the way. I believe in providing good health care, and I believe in saving the rainforest and saving the environment. I never gave up on my values. I am promoting them. And I am happy to say I'm in a position. It's great to be in a place where not only can you pay your bills, you make some extra money, but you can donate funds as well. So I still have those values, folks. I believe in the environment. I have the value of wanting to make the world a better place. I want to be a great positive impact on lots of people. I want to help women believe in themselves. By the way, while I'm on that, Jamie Kern Lima has a book out there called Worthy. Worthy's coming out next week. If you haven't got it, ladies, especially, you should go get it. If you don't know her story, she has a phenomenal story. That woman has been through a lot with adoption and everything else, lost her family too, one way or another. She'll tell you that story. She's got the story in there. But she wrote her first book on Believe, and this story's on Worthy. And throughout the stories, you have come to learn that Jamie Kern Lima, let me get it right, Jamie Kern Lima. She actually produced makeup in her own living room because she had rosacea. And every makeup didn't cover it, and so she produced the makeup. And uh, which one's available on Amazon, Liz? So hi, Liz, glad you joined. Tell me, what do you think is available on Amazon? But anyway, so she produced a makeup, and Worthy is definitely available on and it'll be available on Amazon. It should be on Audible. Yeah, yeah. And it's just called Worthy, Worthy. And what she did, the whole history is that she was on the verge of bankruptcy, and people were telling her, because of a woman her stature and her size, that she couldn't make it, she couldn't do it, she couldn't do anything, and that she wouldn't be successful. And lo and behold, she was. And the end of the story is L'Oreal finally bought her out at like 1.2 billion. But in the meantime, she writes these books, because her goal is you have to overcome a lot to be in the position she was in and be successful. And so that book, Worthy, what she does, thank you for sharing the live. What she does with that book, Worthy, and with Believe, with her profits, she feeds children. She has one of my values. I love this woman. So she too is working on her self-worth and is out to teach the rest of us how to work on our self-worth. And that book, Worthy, by the way, has a ton of great strategies in it. She did an interview with Ed Mylett. It's Mylett. So, hey, Nicole. So if you have not heard of Ed Mylett, you should go look him up on a podcast. Again, it's Mylett, I believe. He interviewed her. It was a fabulous interview. And she has all kinds of strategies coming out in her new book, Worthy. And that book is going to be phenomenal. In fact, it's phenomenal. I actually I got an early copy to review. And so I reviewed an early copy for her. So I feel privileged. But it's a great book. But anyways, so, hey, Nicole, I hope you're doing well. Are you transporting puppies right now? And if you are, how many? We'll wait for her to answer. And so, oh my Lord, you're home. Well, you should be enjoying it. I hope you've had a great week at home. I just talked to you about, I met a woman who, she volunteers. You have 2 drivers out now. I might want to drive for you. So I have a woman up north, and she actually works for, that's the other thing. I love dogs. If you know me, I'm an absolute dog lover, right? So she rescues dogs, and then she gets volunteers to help drive the dogs. Like, she needed somebody to drive a dog from North Carolina to Florida. And I was like, oh, Cindy, if you ever need anybody to drive a dog from North Carolina to Florida, feel free to call me, because I do go to Florida quite a bit. So yeah, but she gets different volunteers to actually save dogs, rescue them, and then they put them in their forever home when somebody adopts them in a different state. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, but I wanted to give you all that great story. So Nicole, I was just giving the whole story of how I get into Nu Skin and network marketing and what I do and everything else. And yeah, it's a great rescue. They save those dogs from being euthanized. So I was telling people about what my values are. You know, my values are to make a positive impact on the world, is to help feed children, is to help save the rainforest and the environment and the coral reefs, you know, and it's to help save puppies, because I am such a dog lover. My 2 boys have 2 labs. They're my kids. I don't know what I'd do without my boys. So I love, love, love those kids. So, oh, thank you, Nicole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you too, girl. So yeah, no, values are important. I think it's important that we let the world know what we stand for, and we stand in those values. And I want to be as authentic and transparent as possible. You know, I make no bones about it. I love network marketing. You know, I loved my teaching, but I stepped into a different place to do what I do. So, oh, good for your sister. So, good for your sister. So yeah, I'm going to be volunteering, helping out with that rescue as well. So, but yeah, so I'm just trying to be 100%. I'm not trying to be. I am being 100% transparent about why I love my company so much and what I do. I'm a product of the product. One of the biggest things is our Lumi Spa, which is the #1 facial. This is the #1 facial device in the world. Celebrities even get this when they walk the red carpet. Amazing. And they use it and they love it. And part of that's because of that silicone head that's, You don't have to worry about it getting any kind of, it's antibacterial. It oscillates in two directions. It cleans out your pores really well. It stimulates your face. So this is one of the things I love. One of the biggest things that I'm promoting and talking about too is anti-aging. So Nicole, I don't know if you or Liz or anybody who's on here is going to know this, but I had a birthday this year. It was a month ago. It was January 2nd, actually. It was a big 0 year for me, and it wasn't 40 and it wasn't 50. So I have just turned 60, and I'm proud of that. And so right now, I just finished writing. I have a free guide, by the way. If anybody wants to go to my website, which is laurensnewyou.com. So it's laurensnewyou.com. I have a freebie guide that you can sign up for, but you can get a freebie guide, and it's anti-aging skincare tips. So I give you my morning routine, my evening routine. I talk about the science behind some of the aging and some of the things that we need to do. But yeah, oh, the Lumi Spa is fantastic, isn't it, girl? Yeah, I'm 60, by the way, in case you don't know that. So, hi, Rachel. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, what was one of the things I have to laugh at? Okay, so back in the day when I was growing up, I had a sister. We won't mention names, but I had an older sister, and she would say to me, "Oh, your hair looks terrible. You're not eating right. You're not using the right stuff. Da 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 da." I don't know. I'm thinking at 60, I must be doing something right because that hair is shiny as all get out, and it's long and it's thick. Oh my gosh, thick hair. And this is real, okay? And I don't have very many wonderful of those fine lines and wrinkles and things. And folks, I don't do needles. I don't do plastic surgery. If you know me, you know that's one of my fears. I am such a chicken. I am such a chicken of needles and stuff. So I have people and friends tell me all the time, "Oh, you should go get Botox shots." I don't need to go get Botox shots. I have, what I call these are called my Botox beads. This is our serum. Let me show it to these guys, and then I'll show it. This is our serum, our number one Rolls-Royce. Royce? That's how you say that. Anyways, it's our number one serum, right? And I have the uplifting cream, which I dearly love, by the way. Those are two things. I'm a product of the product. Everything that you see me promoting, I use. So I'm a product of the product. But let me tell you, if you are beyond 25, you need to be taking collagen. And one of the questions I got, and why I came on here today, is because somebody said, "Lauren, I need to know if this is hydrolyzed." Now, most of you won't know what that means. So I was laughing because obviously one of my science friends, right? She's like, "I need to know if this is hydrolyzed." I said, we'll call her Sue. "Sue, it's collagen peptides. Of course it's hydrolyzed." And she said, "Well, it doesn't say that." Well, one would hope that everybody would know that peptides, you have amino acids that make up your peptides that make up your proteins, right? We call them peptides when it's smaller pieces of the proteins. And so one would hope that hydrolysis means it's broken down. And the reason why we break it down is because collagen is an extremely large protein. And so you can't just readily absorb that very large protein. And so what we do is we have collagen peptides that get readily absorbed. You need some sort of collagen, especially in case you don't know this. After the age of 25, you start losing 1% a year, maybe 2. Once you hit menopause, you lose 30%. It is gone, let me tell you. And then thereafter, every year thereafter, it's 1 to 2%. That's a lot of collagen. So, and I can't promote this for one of the things I'm going to tell you about, but let me tell you one of the results that I personally had. I'm not diagnosing, not guaranteeing it for anybody else. One of the results that I had was that I thought that I was going to have a hip replacement. Both my hips were very painful. And I was thinking, "Oh Lord, I'm not getting enough calcium. The hips hurt, the knees hurt a little bit." I started on this. Not only does it work for the great skin and the hair and the nails and everything else, but lo and behold, my hip pain went away. I was freaking flabbergasted because I was a skeptic at first. You know, I was a skeptic at first, going, oh, I don't need collagen. Even though I knew I was going through menopause, this was a few years back, 3 years ago. I was finishing up menopause. I was like, oh, I don't need collagen. But holy cats, folks, when I started taking this, I have never stopped and never will. This was the best thing in my life. We also now make a powdered one that's a little bit less expensive, but will still do the same thing. And yes, it's hydrolyzed, which means it's broken down into peptides that your body's going to be able to readily absorb. I personally like this one. They have a strawberry one. Let me be quite honest. I'm sure. I mean, one of my friends absolutely loves the strawberry. I think it tastes like cough medicine in a grocery store, and I don't take meds. I'm like, that is gross from pharmacy. So I think the strawberry tastes like bad cough medicine. However, there are people out there who love it. I love the peach, and that's what I take. And I believe the powder is a citrus one. I haven't tried it yet, so I believe that it's a citrus one. But let me show you something else. One of the new exciting things. I don't know, Nicole, if you got one of these, but one of the new exciting things coming out is the Renew Spa. I got one early on and been using it. And in fact, for those of you who are on the live here on Facebook, um, and on here, you can see those are my results using this. And let me see if I can call this up for you guys, because I know you can't see this. So let me go to my pictures real quick. Oh, I can. So I don't know if you can see that, but that was my belly. So I will see if I can hold it up. Okay. And the only thing different is I'm using this. So let me explain this. This is a microcurrent technology. It goes up to 5 for 5 minutes. So when you turn it on, it gives you the little dots. I have to be careful now not to touch my face because they'll give off a microcurrent. Let's see if we can shut that off. Thank you. Okay. So, and what this does is you use this with a gel. So you get a gel and you put the gel on. And so what I'll do, for example, is I put it under my arms. I gotta show you my one arm. I'm doing only my right arm. And and then you just sit there and you do this and you can hear it. It'll make a noise like psh, it makes a noise while you're doing that. I do it for 5 minutes a day. And I do it especially on my stomach. Now, there are places not to do this on. You don't want to be doing this on your chest. Nobody should have to do this on the chest, okay? So, uh, I'm not going to pull up my shirt tonight, but my stomach is getting really flat. And so I do this on my stomach, and then I'll do it on my arm. But you can see that picture is very clear here. I don't know how well you guys saw it on TikTok. But people pay hundreds of dollars to go to a spa to have a one-time thing done when you can just pay a couple $100 and have this forever. And we have warranties on it. Um, and so again, those were my results. We have all kinds of people sending in their results right now, whether it's on their stomach, whether it's on their arms. I haven't seen the legs yet. But if you do any kind of firming cream or do the toning, you might want to look into getting a Renew Spa. In England and Canada, it's called the Wellness Spa. It's sold out, and by the way, it's FDA cleared. It's sold out well before, I think once, twice, thrice in Europe. So a great little thing. And I always buy something like that and try it first to make sure that it works. And so I'm in love with the Renew Spa. So that's my new thing, no pun intended. So I use that. So a lot of people love our Dramatic Effects firming cream. We also now have a Dramatic Effects serum. And people have been using this to slim the legs, slim the buttocks, slim the arms, under the chin when you get that turkey neck and on the chest. I'm a side sleeper. So people have used this, and we use it. You still use it in conjunction. You're not supposed to use the Renew Spa every single day. You're supposed, but it says you can use it 3 to 4 maybe even 5 times a week, which only leaves a couple of days in between. I just use it every other day for 5 minutes, and it works great. So please remember that spring break is coming up, and we always have our incredible Sunlight Instaglow tanner that's phenomenal. You don't have to use any kind of mitts or gloves with this. If you're on TikTok, this is in my store. If you're on TikTok, this is in my store. I have a couple of other products, but for some reason, some stuff isn't showing up, so I have to go into my store to see what's happening. And I haven't had time to do that because the back end to get these things up and running is hilariously a long process, just like it was to find my live stream key. So if I can find my live stream key, I'll be happy to stream everybody through here. And obviously, I have to go look for my live stream key for Instagram because for some reason Instagram's not working tonight. So, but anyways, the tanning lotion, by the way, if you buy it in the TikTok store, holy cats. This is on sale. So it's got a great sale going on both of these. In fact, I forgot to, Natalie, if you're on here, if you're on here, like watching me right now, you asked about the polishing bar. The polishing bar is phenomenal. This is great for what we call chicken skin. So it's that keratosis pilaris where people have their little pores that get plugged. It's actually the follicles, the hair follicles and things. And so it literally looks like a plucked chicken skin. It's usually on the arms and things. And so this is great for that. This is a great exfoliator before you use the tanner. This also, I like it for cleaning my makeup sponges and my makeup brushes. And I just love it. So I have this in the shower, and I use it quite a bit. So I love, and it's got a great smell to it. It's a lot of guys like this because it's not, the frou-frou stuff at all. This has actually got the Cisco paw bark that comes from the Pacific Northwest, and then it's got the glacial marine mud to purify your skin. So it smells earthy, and so I like the smell of it, and a lot of men will too. So men can use this as well. But this is one of my hot sellers, and right now it's in my TikTok store, and they're running TikTok sometimes runs a sale, and we have nothing to do with it. So they're running a sale for like 36% off, something ridiculous on both that and the tanner. So folks, if you want to grab that in the TikTok, because that's a steal. That is, I mean, this little puppy right here, all prices have gone up. And let me tell you, all shipping prices have gone up. Holy cow. I went in just to ship the little jar of the uplifting cream and a little jar of the pearls because she wanted the whole Botox little beads things. So I've got a customer who loves this. So I was shipping this just down to Florida, by the way. It cost me $15. I couldn't believe it. I was blown out of the water. So shipping really has taken a jump. But anyways, this is going to be quite a steal in that TikTok store because typically this sells for closer to 40 by the time usually it's like 35 and then we have to add 5 for shipping, although we may have to up that shipping. Ooh. Has anybody else noticed that? Anybody else send anything out lately and looked at shipping? Because shipping has really gone through the roof. But anyways, so typically this would be closer to 40 by the time we pay taxes and do shipping. And right now it's running for I think it says $36.95 in the store, and it says 36% off or something. It's pretty cool. So that's in the TikTok store. But what I want to tell you, so if you're over the age of 40, especially, you need to be on collagen. If you're over the age of 40, you better be using vitamin C and collagen topically. Because vitamin C is going to help. It's an antioxidant, right? So it's going to help with your skin. It's going to help with discoloration as well. It's going to brighten your skin. It's going to help with renewal. Vitamin C is just fabulous. Fabulous. And so is A and E, but vitamin C especially. So these are the things that if you want to know, people keep asking me, what do you use, Lauren? I use my To Be Clear, because believe it or not, at 60, I still get acne. I think I have a spot of acne on my neck. I'm like, what? But anyways, so it must be those hormonal things changing. To Be Clear is what I use for my cleanser. Sometimes I use the LumiSpas come with a cleanser that's to help with age and aging. And a lot of my clients and customers love that, love that. And so they use that as well. I tend to use this more than anything else, but I do use that. And then I use my serums, which are going to be my vitamin C collagen serum. And then either I'll use my recovery one. This is loaded with antioxidants. And so this one helps promote cell growth as well. So I'll use my Celltrex Always Right. Or I will end up using my little beads. So just depends. Depends on what I'm doing, but I interchange those obviously. But I'm a product of the product. I love these products and I will use them and use them and use them again. And you can see, and they work. They just work. So they really, really work. Alrighty. So I've had some questions come in. So there have been all kinds of questions that have come in. For example, I had a question come in about why I moved to North Carolina. So let me answer that one now. Okay. So I was teaching at Midstate. I love Midstate Technical College, by the way. Great job, and great time, great students, doing super well. But again, I had 3 deaths. I buried 3 sisters in 5 years, and I was the executor of 2 estates. That is 1 estate too many. 1 estate being an executor. If anybody's ever had to be an executor of a state, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is no manual, and oh my Lord, the amount of work that goes with having to work with an estate with somebody is huge, and I had to do 2. And so got both of those sisters buried, got both estates taken care of, had to go through my own grieving and stuff. But it got to be really tough because, as you know, most of my family and friends are down this area. So I have a niece and that family that lives in Charlotte, and then I've got my family in Ocala, Florida. I didn't want to move to Florida. Sorry. Sorry to my adoptive mom and dad and family. I just did not want to move to Florida. Florida's just hot, humid. I grew up there. I feel like it has more crime and is more crowded, although we know that that's everywhere, right? That's everywhere. Okay. So I ended up moving to Wilmington. And Wilmington is a place that has dogs, and they love dogs. So it's just a great place. So yeah, I love Wilmington. I love the weather. I love being able to walk my dogs. I love not being cold at this time of year, although I understand it's pretty warm up north. I understand those of you in Wisconsin, you don't have a ton of snow and stuff right now, right? You're able to get out and about and move. And I think somebody said they washed their car with the garden hose last weekend, which is highly unusual. Typically, we start with really cold in December, and we do not even, we don't get to do anything until June. We defrost in June, so it's 9 months of that stuff. But no, I am now in North Carolina, and I absolutely love it. So, but yeah, so I came on to give you all history. Hello, Josie, how are you? So yeah, just talking a little bit about my life. I see John joined us, and I see, yeah, Elizabeth's still there, and Alex is on. So hello, hello. So I'm just giving a little bit of my life and why I got into Nu Skin, and why I love my online business and I'm doing well, and why I love North Carolina. So life is really good, and so this is where I've been. So just loving it. But I'll come on a lot more and do different things. My specialty is anti-aging. I talk a lot about that. So an example, one of the questions I got yesterday from a lady who I was chatting with, she could not even believe, she said, I can't believe you're 60. And I said, well, I am. So we were chatting about, she used to be a smoker. And I said, well, this one's going to be a toss-up. The number one thing for skin is sun. So you need to be wearing sunscreen or at least a large hat and not be out. And this is a tough one because I live near the beach now, so I get it. But you've got to do something to protect, because sun will absolutely destroy your skin. If you smoke, that's the second one that's really, really bad. I can spot a smoker in a second. They don't even have to have a cigarette in their hand or anything and walk up to me, and I can tell you right away they smoke. I could tell you who's been sitting in the sun for 8 hours and who hasn't, right? The other thing that's huge, the third one, that most people don't think about and don't know this. You need to cut out the sugar in your life. Now, does that mean you have to cut it all out? No. Um, I like maple syrup and I like honey and things like that, but that whole white table sugar, and if you get too much sugar, let me talk to you about what sugar does. The scientific word is glycation, but what sugar does is sugar gets in and it attaches to your collagen and it kinks it, and that's what gives you these wrinkles. If you have too much sugar, especially in the eye, it will make you have blurred vision. That is one of the symptoms of diabetics, by the way, blurred vision. Okay? So sugar is not all that great for you. The other thing that you need to do is cut down on salt because we get more than enough salt, and that too can be very drying and will take out and will cause a lot of wrinkles and things like that. So it's our diet, obviously. Remember that alcohol is full of sugar, and again, I'm not saying you have to stop completely. I'm just saying that some of these things like sunlight, smoking, sugar, that would include alcohol, these things will age you. So these things all work against the skin. So in my guide, I talk a little bit about that. And then I talk about skincare essentials. I explain things like the hyaluronic acids. I explain a lot of those different things like the retinols. And we have a bakuchiol. Bakuchiol is a plant um, compound that is similar to retinol. It's just that it's less aggressive on the skin, I guess I should say. What it does is it's great for people who have sensitive skin. You can use bakuchiol and be out in the sun. If you're using retinol, you got to be careful if you're out in the sun because it makes your skin that much more susceptible to being burned and being out there in the sun, right? And so retinol is great, but some people have a lot of skin sensitivity and can't use retinol. So then you're going to want to try bakuchiol. And there's several of us that all have it and have it within our possession. So we make a cream that has the bakuchiol in it, or serum, I should say. And in fact, it looks like one of these little pumps. I know I have one somewhere. It's purple. And it's pretty good too, because it'll help out with the great, wonderful wrinkles and lines and things like that. So, but yes, so I was explaining to folks, for those of you who are new, come on, I'm Lauren Ebeck. I'm How My Body Works. I teach anatomy and physiology, or at least I used to. I still teach one class. And so what I do a lot is to eat healthy and also to use my good skincare to remain looking young. A young 60-year-old, I might add. And yes, 60, 6-0. All right. So a couple of things that you need to, if you get enough of your leafy green vegetables and those type of things into your body, if you can eat healthy enough, and that you just have to eat more healthy than you do not. So it doesn't mean you can't run through the McDonald's every once in a while. I know what it's like to be on the run, right? I know what it's like to grab junk food. I get it. I so get it. But if you could prep food ahead of time, and if you can eat more of your leafy greens, those are going to have antioxidants in it, obviously. Those are also going to have magnesium and zinc in it, and your calcium and your vitamin D that you need. If you can eat red meat is fine, but not every night. You should eat more fish or chicken. And so, in fact, I like to tell people to be really healthy, go towards the Mediterranean diet. That diet is fantastic. I love the Mediterranean diet. Um, so, so yeah, but if you can eat just more healthy, more fruits, more vegetables to get your antioxidants are huge against free radicals. And free radicals are, they're going to be, what they literally are is an element that's not paired up with another element. So like hydrogen. Typically H2O is water, right? So if you got a free hydrogen running around, it's doing destructive. And so part of that is that it'll age you faster, you know. And let me point out, I don't know if there's anybody on here on the great, wonderful TikTok or anything, but if you know about this, I don't need to know any more than what I already know about it. But I just found out that there are people who are doing semen facials. Did I say that? Yes. Semen. I can't even imagine this. I just think it's gross. You got to worry about STDs, you got to worry about bacterial infections and all kinds of crazy stuff. And people are going, oh, yeah, this is great. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. There's another thing. Somebody asked me about this today. So, folks, there's a bunch of us that have lovely, wonderful eye cream. This is our Nutricentials one, but I also have another one that has caffeine in it and stuff. She said, oh, I don't need that. I use hemorrhoid cream. And everybody's been touting it. And I've even read this online in USA Today. And people are like, yeah, use hemorrhoid cream. And I'm like, who in God's great name, and I pray to God it's not a doctor or he needs to go back to medical school, ever told anybody that it was okay to use hemorrhoid cream next to your eyes? That is, do you know it's got a corticosteroid in it? Of course, you guys don't know what that is, but it's corticosteroid in it, right? While it's going to shrink your blood vessels, it's also going to thin the skin that's already thin underneath your eyes. It can cause scarring. Now, for the most part, if you're not using it every day, it probably won't do that. But it's got a compound in it, the corticosteroids, they cause the pressure in your eyes to increase. Anybody know what that's called? Glaucoma. It is not something you're going to want to not have or have. Glaucoma is not good. Plus, you've got a bunch of capillaries and things close by up here in your eyes and things. And if you're putting lovely, wonderful corticosteroids in your body a lot, it can wreak havoc on your thyroid, your liver, your heart. There is a whole slew of stuff that those corticosteroids in the great hemorrhoid cream can do. It is meant for hemorrhoids. Now, if you're in the outback, meaning you've gone and you're in Canada, you're somewhere where you can't get out to a doctor, and somebody has a burn, you can use it for that because it's anti-inflammatory, right? And it'll stop the scarring. And we always carry a tube with us in the outback for that reason. But I dare say I do not stick that stuff next to my eyes. So it's sad that there's such fake information out there about stuff that people go to an extreme to do to look young. It's like, folks, I have some perfectly good natural stuff that'll help you, and I have some other creams that'll help you. So please don't go near hemorrhoidal cream, and don't do the serum or the semen stuff. I mean, God, talk about bacteria and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, the other thing I want to talk about, your gut. If you're not taking a probiotic, or better yet, you really should take a pre and a postbiotic, because the pre is what feeds the good bacteria. And so Nubiome has a pre and post biotic here. And so this works to actually encourage and feed the good bacteria in your gut. But if you're not eating healthy and your gut is not correct, besides the fact that you're going to be an unhappy person and have mood swings and not have good mental cognitive abilities because your gut's out of whack, it also causes your skin and things to be out of whack. So again, anybody who stands before me, all I got to do is look at you and I can tell if you eat correctly, because how you treat the body on the inside shows on the outside. So your skin, your nails, your hair, everything is a reflection of what's on the inside. And it's so important, so important. And I get it, but there's still room to improve. So tomorrow's a new day. Don't beat yourself up. Tomorrow's a new day. And again, we've all been there. I mean, I love chocolate. We all have our share of stuff that we do. But one of the things I specifically make sure I do is to keep my gut in healthy. My butt too, but my gut needs to be healthy, right? And so I actually just take one of these a day. I usually take it in the afternoon because it's got a little bit of caffeine in it. We do have a caffeine-free one, but I just put this in some water. It's supposed to be a raspberry, lemon, and watermelon flavor. It's actually quite mild. You can mix this with anything actually, but I like it just in water. And so I mix it and drink it. Drink one a day. And it will help your gut tremendously. It has helped with when your gut's in stable and doing well, It'll help with things like acid reflux, and it'll help with a whole lot of different things. You know, a lot of people keep talking about how all your serotonin, 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. Is that true? You've got a lot of serotonin that's made in the gut. Is it true that it can affect your brain? Yes. Um, but I hate hearing people say, oh, 90% of your serotonin's in your gut, and that's why you're depressed. I don't think so. That's a whole nother speech on a day for, let me give you a lecture about serotonin, the chief cells, and the cells that make it. And so all that good rot. But anyway, so we won't go there today. But you get the point. You get the picture. So yeah, you got to have a happy gut. And so either you're eating healthy and eating right, or you need to make sure that you take in your good supplements to help out with that. So yeah. Again, for those of you who are just joining me, I'm Lauren Ebeck on How My Body Works. I also have on my website, laurensnewyou.com, which is N-U-Y-O-U. And so it's Lauren, Lauren, N-U-Y-O-U.com. And actually, you got to put an S, Laurens.com. Laurensnewyou.com. Anyways, there's a freebie on there, and it's and you can go to my Facebook page. You can see where to get it on the banner there. And so the freebie is on age-defying skincare tips. So if you're interested to learn more about what I take and what I do morning and what I do at night, to have my great hair and my great skin, feel free to go get that guide and look at that guide. So yeah. So I do have a free guide that's out there. So what's everybody else doing for the weekend? Anybody having big exciting plans tomorrow? None? So I know I'm going to be doing the typical usual of washing clothes, cleaning house, and doing that sort of thing. So yeah. But I just wanted to come on and give a story and a brief couple of things about who I am and what I do. And here comes my dog, Tito. Here's Tito. Here's Tito. Come here, Tito. I want to see you. This is Tito. Tito. How's my baby boy? You want to come up here? Come here. Come here, beautiful. So I have my other one, Akos. Tito is my yellow lab. He's my big, tall yellow lab. This is cool. So Tito, God bless his little soul, he comes to get me like right now, and he'll butt me because he wants me to go to bed. He doesn't like sleeping by himself. He's funny that way. Yeah, Tito comes and gets his mama because he wants me to come to bed. Akos, on the other hand, Akos is in bed and could care less. He's my little short, white English lab. Excuse me, beautiful lab. He could care less. So yeah. It looks like here comes Akos. Come here, Akos. I don't know if you guys will be able to see Akos. Here's little Akos, my little white lab. So he's so short. So there's my Tito. Yep, there's my Tito. Yep, and there goes Akos. But yeah, so I just want to come on and share with you who I am. I'll try to come on a whole lot more and share parts of my life and what's going on. Hey, by the way, especially for you women, I tend to be also a single woman, so I'm going to be talking about some dating because I'm going to start some dating and see how that goes. And that's part of my skincare and taking good care of myself and stuff. But I'll be starting that wonderful going out to date, and we'll see how that ends up, eh? So I will keep you posted on the dating scene. So with that, I'm going to say good night and have a great, great, wonderful night. And I will see you again. So let me finish this one first.